Cacao by Adrian, Tristan Bach, and Evan Boyle. Regions of origin. Cacao originated in Mesoamerica in the upper Amazon region that now includes parts of Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. The spread of cacao. Cacao was spread to the Spanish explorers who landed in South and Central America by the Mayans and the Aztecs. The Spanish began to use cacao to make their drink more popular among the Native Americans, although the Spanish adapted it more to their taste by adding things like cinnamon and sugar, and some even adopted it as currency. The Spanish eventually introduced cacao powder to the rest of Europe, from which it spread throughout the entire world. One good turkey hen is worth 100 full cacao beans or 120 shrunken cacao beans. A hare or forest rabbit is worth about 100 cacao beans per rabbit. A chicken egg is worth 2 cacao beans. A small rabbit, 30. And a newly picked avocado is worth 3 cacao beans, and a ripe avocado is worth 1. One large tomato will be equivalent to 1 cacao bean. A newly picked prickly pear cactus fruit is equivalent to 1 cacao bean, and 2 fully ripe cactus fruits are still 1 cacao bean. Chopped firewood, 1 cacao bean, and a tamale, 1 cacao bean. That was a list written by the New Spain government head, Judge Gomez de Santillan, in 1545.
The profitability of cacao. Cacao became extremely profitable after it was introduced to Europe. There, hot chocolate was adopted by the upper classes, and drinking it became a symbol of wealth and status. In fact, there were even chocolate houses that were almost completely focused on serving hot chocolate to the upper classes. The picture below is a 17th century chocolate house in England. This is a Spanish mosaic from the 1700s depicting a chocolatada, or chocolate party. Cacao's impact on the population. In the early years of its introduction, cacao only truly impacted the wealthy who could afford it. Since it had to be shipped from South America, it was considered a precious commodity. Cacao was very expensive, and only the elite could afford to have it all the time. As time went on, chocolate became easier and cheap to produce and started being more readily available and have a greater impact on the lower classes. Today, chocolate is something that almost everyone has easy access to and is found commonly in various types of dishes and candy.
Cacao's impact on labor practices. Cacao impacted labor practices, especially in South America, where the major plantations were, by making the Spanish force even more Native Americans into slavery in order to meet the high demand for cacao that was erupting in Europe. Cacao's impact on cultural norms. Cacao's impact on cultural norms was very large. After its introduction to Europe in the early 1500s and started to proceed into cocoa, drinking hot chocolate became fashionable and desirable. The popularity grew even more when solid chocolate started being produced, and today chocolate is eaten, drunk, and are incorporated into dishes throughout the entire world. A recipe. So the recipe is very simple. It's just hot chocolate, but instead of made with cocoa powder, which is a more processed and sweetened variant of raw cacao powder, you make it with the raw stuff. So it'll be more bitter, but also healthier. All you need to do is get milk and mix cacao powder into it before heating it to your desired temperature. You can mix in any flavoring or extra things you want, so it's very customizable to your liking.